cancer loves, so we can stop it. We also need to know what cancer hates. Loves sugar. Fact is that a cancer cell consumes 15 times the glucose of any other cell. Cancer also loves an acid environment. What is the most acid substance you can put into your body? Fine sugar. Nothing wrong with the sugar cane. All those minerals alkalize it up, but when they extract the sugar out of the sugarcane plant, it becomes a pure acid. Also loves a no oxygen environment. So what does cancer hate? Cancer hates it when you stop the sugar or stop all glucose. Cancer is not happy when you create an alkaline environment in the body. Hates oxygen. There's 3 common denominators. And I have put these 3 common denominators here. Let me show you why cancer cells love glucose. This is the cell. The glucose goes in. It goes through a 20-step pathway. And this 20-step pathway gives us 2 units of energy. The end result of the 20-step pathway is a chemical form of glucose called pyruvate. We'll just call it the P. It's the chemical form of glucose that gets fed into the 8-step pathway. This 8-step pathway is called the powerhouse of the cell for good reason. It delivers 36 units of energy. Whoa! What makes the difference? It's oxygen. This is the pathway that uses oxygen. This pathway uses no oxygen. This pathway, this 20-step pathway, is also a very fast pathway. So it's consuming a lot of glucose. So basically, this is a cancer cell. You will find a lot of them have no energy. Very little energy, because a lot of their cells are running up here. That's where the cancer cells run. And that's a very fast pathway, so they're going to be eating up 15 times the glucose. And they don't need oxygen to run. So let me show you what Elizabeth Cott did. Elizabeth Cott came to me and said, anything you say, I will do. Oh, I love it when people say that. So I said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to starve that cancer. How do you starve it? To starve it, you've got to know what it loves. It loves glucose. We suggested 6 weeks, no sugar, no honey, no sweet at all. She also had to check her house to make sure there was no contamination with mold. You see, mold loves sugar. It loves a damp environment because cancer cannot survive in the alkaline environment. It loves acid. I found out that Elizabeth Cott was very fussy in her house. But I also found that Elizabeth Cott loved cheese. So to starve the fungus, you make sure that it's not getting sugar. Now, one would say, but Barbara, doesn't every cell need glucose to run? It does. But the quick release glucose in your carbohydrates and your sugars, they basically just are feeding that. If you can make sure you've got heaps of oxygen in your body, the glucose from the lower delivery glucose fuels will get down to here. That's perfectly fine. Now, because cancer cells consume 15 times the glucose of any other cell, when chemotherapy goes in, they consume more chemotherapy than the other cells. The unfortunate thing is some of the good cells are going to consume it and be killed as well. Number 2, I'll define what she ate. She ate vegetables every meal. She ate half raw, half cooked. She had some seeds and nuts every meal. She had legumes every meal. And because she was such a good cook, it didn't take long for her to adapt and adjust and make magnificent food with her Polish recipes. She'd use coconut cream instead of cream. Number 2, what we need to do when the body's not well is to work with the healing powers of the body. So what are some of the herbs? I define it in my book, garlic. Garlic is a potent fungal killer. Now, a person can have a yeast presence in their body and not have cancer, but if it continues, it certainly can develop to that, if it's given the right conditions. If it's given lots of sugar, acid environment and not much oxygen. Olive leaf extract. Grapefruit seed extract. Also portiaco. Also some essential oils. And remember, essential oils are very, very strong. So you only have a few drops at a time. So the essential oils are oregano. That's quite a potent fungal killer. Also clove is a potent one, and thyme. We showed how the microorganisms change roles according to the environment. They adjust and adapt. That's why if someone has a bacterial infection and they keep taking antibiotics, some of the bacteria will be killed, but some of the bacteria adapts and adjusts. There's your superbugs. Why is the bacteria there? Why are the yeast and fungus there? No problem happens without a cause. With these, they need to be alternated, because just as the microbes, the pathogenic microbes, the ones we don't want, the yeasts, bacterias, funguses, viruses, they also can adapt and adjust. And so my suggestion is a week on this, a week on this, a week on this, a week on this. So you're constantly adapting and adjusting. So that's what Elizabeth Cott did. Number 3, alkalize. Can you drink sodium bicarbonate? All you'll do is alkalize your stomach. And you don't want your stomach alkalized, because your stomach should be acid to break down your food. That's the only part in the body that should be acid, is your stomach. If someone has throat cancer, stomach cancer, I suggest they do drink the sodium bicarbonate early in the morning and just before they go to bed, because sodium bicarbonate only alkalizes what it touches. The only other time that sodium bicarbonate might be taken into the body would be to take it as an enema if someone had cancer in the lower part of their colon. Because remember, it just alkalizes what it touches. But what you can do, you can take foods and drinks that alkalize. And one of the most alkalizing drinks you can take is green drinks. You can use chlorophyll, because these greens, they are so high in minerals that they alkalize. You can also take barley green. You can buy products called super greens, wheatgrass, spirulina, all the greens. These are incredibly high in minerals. They're alkalizing minerals, and when you drink them, it comes into the tissues and it alkalizes. The most acid-forming foods are meat, sugar, caffeine, alcohol. The most alkaline foods are your vegetables. So lots of vegetables. Now there are some foods that are acid-forming, like your walnuts, your pecans. To get the correct balance, we need to be taking about 80 to 90% alkaline foods and about 10 to 20% acid-forming foods. Another thing we do to help alkalize is we do the sodium bicarbonate wraps. With the sodium bicarbonate wraps, take approximately 2 kilos of sodium bicarbonate, 5 litres of boiling water, and about a third of a cup of lemon juice. And we towels. And then we wring the towel out and we wrap a leg and then cover it. Wrap another leg, cover it. Wrap the torso, so the whole body's wrapped in the sodium bicarbonate. And what happens in that hot, moist environment, and we cover with wool, you must keep it warm. It's on YouTube. Bit of work to do it, and ideally, I don't let anyone do it at our retreat until I've trained them, because it's important to do it properly, to not let air get to anything. But it alkalizes through the skin. We also, at our retreat, have a hyperbaric chamber. A hyperbaric chamber puts oxygen into the body. Henry's law states that under pressure, more gas goes into a liquid, and the gas is oxygen, and the liquid, of course, is the body tissues, the blood. So in this little hyperbaric chamber, it's like a little circular tent. We zip it up and pump the pure oxygen in, and they're usually lying in that for an hour. So